All right, welcome to the Roman Empire. Yay! Yay! So, why the Romans fell? Let's give you a brief background. Well, to start off, there was about 2 million square miles of land under the control of the Roman Empire at its height, with about 70 million people. That's about 20% of the world's total population. I don't think you understand this, guys. This is incredible. Really incredible. Okay. It could have been perhaps the most powerful economic, cultural, political, and military force in the world at its time. It was really perhaps the greatest empire ever. So deforestation, water usage and pollution, soil deterioration, and air pollution were just amongst the few mistakes that the empire made. Well, to start off, deforestation. Well, I think we all know what deforestation is. When we cut down too many trees. Well, much of the land had to be cleared to support its huge population, as we discussed before. So, as these trees were cut down, less and less trees were available. And these trees were also cut down to support their industries, such as building ships or just simple buildings and bridges. It really was a terrible predicament that they were in. Also, water usage and pollution. So, water, as it does in today's society, has many uses, you see. Perhaps one of the most common is drinking water, also the agriculture system to feed its people, and the waste system to get rid of poo-poo and other things of this sort. So it polluted the water, and it was really sad, really, you know. Also, soil deterioration. You see, to support the population, agriculture, was used to feed the people, and as they kept using the soil to farm, really, the soil began to erode and deteriorate. And, as we look today, perhaps the Egyptian deserts or much of the semi-arid land in Italy, none of it can be used before, when previously it was used for soil by the Roman Empire. Now, air pollution. The air pollution was detrimental to the people. Really, it was a catastrophe. From mining and smithing, although it was great and it was a huge step forward for mankind, they were essentially hung, drawn, and quartered by this process, and the people developed many health problems. Truly sad, truly.
Alright, let's rewind this all back. Beginning with air pollution. Alright, so they wanted to mine and they wanted to smith, but this jacked up the air quality. Alright, the air quality was so bad that the people started to develop health problems. The hearts got jacked up, the oxygen levels got all jacked up, the lungs got jacked up. And because of this, the people had shorter lifespans. Alright, onto water pollution. Okay, when you poop and pee in the water, you can't use it the same way. Alright, they still wanted to wash their clothes, clean their animals, drink the water that was contaminated with all this crap. Alright, and that's stupid because you start developing problems when you use contaminated water. Okay, deforestation. The people cut down trees for everything, to build the freaking ships, to build the freaking buildings, to build freaking tools. Alright, they use trees for everything. Heck, they even cut down trees because they needed more land for soil. Okay, and when you run out of trees, a super vital resource, wood, I mean, come on, you need it for like everything. Okay, your civilization starts to run out of things they need, and that is bad. Okay, now soil deterioration. I think we all know they had a crap load of people in the Roman Empire, but how are you gonna support this? Okay, you gotta farm a crap load. Okay, how do you farm a crap load? You gotta farm every single freaking acre in your freaking empire. Okay, but if you farm too freaking much, the land gets deteriorated. And because it gets deteriorated, you can't use it no more. Okay, that's why we got deserts in Egypt and stupid dirt plains in Italy. These people ran out of area to use, so they starved. Word.